We are coming on the air right now to bring you breaking news. Right now, the LAPD is chasing a white stolen pickup truck. Let's go straight to Julia Dang in News Chopper 4 right now with the latest. Julia, can you give us a sense of the exact location here?
Camilla, this is headed westbound on Ocean Park Boulevard. Just a minute before we came on the air, this made a sudden U-turn. It was headed east at first. Ocean Park Boulevard in the city of Santa Monica. This is going to be around 20th Street, just north of Santa Monica Airport. And you can see this is not moving very quickly right now, doing about 20, 25 miles per hour. It's been going pretty slowly the entire time that LAPD has been in pursuit of this white pickup truck. This started about 30, 35 minutes ago, just after 11 a.m. And as we zoom in here, it looks like this may actually be coming to an end. This is Ocean Park Boulevard and 28th Street, again in Santa Monica. It is believed to be a stolen pickup truck. And I think this is finally coming to an end after nearly 40 minutes of LAPD in pursuit. This was briefly on the 10 freeway. Oh, no, and look at that. Truck on the move again. I see him hitting the brakes. I thought he was going to give it up here. Again on Ocean Park Boulevard, 28th Street.
Okay, we lost our Julia Dang here, but again, we're following breaking news right now. A stolen truck pursuit in the Santa Monica area. This is on
we are on the move again. Camilla, if you got me, I dropped out there just for a moment. We've got some technical issues up here, but you can see this pursuit still going. I thought this driver of this stolen white pickup truck was about to give it up after leading LAPD on a pursuit for about 40 minutes here in Santa Monica, but he's on the move again. This is now the second time since we got overhead a couple minutes ago that we had seen him abruptly stop and appear ready to surrender, but on the move again. Again, the initial want is a stolen vehicle. We believe it is just the driver behind the wheel. I don't believe there are any passengers, but let me take a look at this traffic light. I don't know if he just blew past a red light, but you see that street sign coming up on Cloverfield now and stopped again in the middle of the roadway. On the move, multiple LAPD units behind it. The LAPD helicopter over this as well. Slow speed, very slow speed, stolen vehicle pursuit in the city of Santa Monica. Lead agency here is LAPD, their West LA division in pursuit of this white pickup truck.
For the last 40 minutes, we saw that truck stop shortly, and then that driver on the move again.
If you got me on the 450, I've got the wrong IFB.
Again, this is on Ocean Park Boulevard, north of the Santa Monica Airport. Again, that truck on the move again. We're following the latest on this stolen truck pursuit in Santa Monica. Our Julia Dang in News Chopper 4. Let's go ahead and check back in with you, Julia. Can you hear me? Okay, we're standing by to check back in with our Julia Dang. Again, we're following breaking news right now. This is a stolen truck pursuit in the Santa Monica area on Ocean Park Boulevard. Moments ago, we saw this driver stop for a short period of time. That driver then on the move again, and we're standing by to get another update from Julia Dang. But so far, this driver has been moving fairly slowly. We're seeing the LAPD is in pursuit. The lead agency here that has been following this truck on Ocean Park Boulevard. So we're standing by to get some additional information, what we're learning about this driver at this time. But again, a stolen truck pursuit in the Santa Monica area on Ocean Park Boulevard. Any updates that we can get Julia Dang back?
Still going. Unsuccessful pit maneuver right there at 16th Street, headed westbound on Ocean Park Boulevard. I don't even think that did much damage to this truck. He is still going. He did not miss a beat. It was this LAPD unit right behind it that tried a pit maneuver. This is definitely moving slow enough for that to be an option for LAPD. But again, unsuccessful pit maneuver. First one that we have seen during this pursuit, lasting about 40 minutes now. Stolen white pickup truck, still headed westbound on Ocean Park Boulevard. Moving a little bit faster now. Looks like this is going about 40 miles per hour. Driving on the wrong wrong side of the street now. 11th Street, still headed westbound on Ocean Park Boulevard. I'm going to zoom out and show you other cars on the road here. He's coming up on traffic, and you can see drivers headed eastbound on the other side of the street. They have a sense that something is up because of all these black and whites tailing this pickup truck. Helicopter overhead as well. This has now been going on for close to 50 minutes. And I don't know if they're going to try another pit maneuver, but as he turns onto Lincoln Boulevard now, significantly heavier traffic here. And if they pit this truck and it spins out of control, it's not just the other drivers that could be in danger. I mean, there are pedestrians here, too. You see the LAPD helicopter flying through our shot here. They have been keeping eyes on this since it started. Still in the city of Santa Monica now, heading northbound on Lincoln Boulevard from Ocean Park Boulevard. But that pit attempt just a couple of minutes ago on Ocean Park at 16th Street, that did not work. Still going about 30 miles per hour. You see that lead black and white right behind it, closing that gap a little bit. And he's making a left turn here. Left turn onto Grant Street. Not a left turn, but another U-turn. Abrupt U-turn. And this kind of thing is really unexpected because this driver has been driving so slowly for most of this pursuit. I don't think I've seen him exceed 45 miles per hour. But as it comes underneath News Chopper 4 here, we might be able to get a better shot of who is behind the wheel. I'm hearing a bit more information on the LAPD scanner about the what here. We do know they believe this vehicle, this white pickup truck, was stolen. But I'm hearing they may have additional information about the driver as he makes another left turn here. Looks like he's turning onto Maple Street from Grant. He was briefly on Lincoln, blowing through that stop sign. We are now in a residential area. You see those trees. That's going to make it harder for the helicopter to keep eyes on this. And it looks like the ground units are hanging back just a little bit as this driver makes, I thought it was going to be a right turn, but he's going straight on Maple Street. Maple and 11th, really just turning circles in Santa Monica.
Yeah, and Julia, we know how dangerous these can be. I mean, earlier we saw this driver just zipping through those streets in the middle of traffic. This is a busy time of day. Now, this driver is in a residential area here. We saw earlier that unsuccessful pit maneuver. What do you think, believe is the game plan here moving forward?
I mean, now that he's moving slowly and he is in a much less congested part of Santa Monica, they could try another pit attempt, but he keeps on making these unexpected turns. We just don't know where this driver is headed. I wonder if he has ties to this part of town, to Santa Monica, if he's looking for somewhere to bail out. We see that often during these pursuits, right? They leave the vehicle in a driveway and they try and make a run for it. So I don't know if that's what this driver is looking for, but we definitely don't see as much traffic here. We're not seeing any foot traffic, so this could be a good area for the ground units to try another pit maneuver. That last one did not work, and as we've been turning a news chopper forward, looking at this from different angles, I'm not seeing much damage on the truck. But you saw it there, nearly hit that ground unit that came up right in front of it. And here we go again. This is now, I think, the third or fourth abrupt stop in the middle of the road this driver has made.
It's Michael now joining Camilla Rambaldi here as we watch this live breaking news here, a stolen truck pursuit. We've seen this once before, this game of cat and mouse, where you take officers on a little trek and then you stop abruptly like we're seeing here. The game plan likely will be he'll take off yet again.
And Michael, this is not just cat and mouse. This is many cats and a hawk overhead and this mouse that's going in circles. They basically have this driver boxed in now. I know they're LAPD units to the left of my monitor, but this driver still not giving it up. When we first came on the air with Camilla about 20 minutes ago, I thought this driver was about to surrender. But here they have him at gunpoint again. The vehicle is stopped, and he's doing the same thing. He is on the move yet again. Making another left turn. He is back on 11th Street. This is largely a residential area. We're seeing some foot traffic here. Neighbors starting to come out. They've tried one pit maneuver. That one did not work. I don't even think it really damaged the truck. So I don't know if they're going to try another one. But hopefully he gets out of this area with tree cover, because this makes it tough for the helicopter to keep eyes on it. The good news here is this is not a high-speed pursuit. We have not seen this driver exceeding 45 miles per hour for as long as we have been overhead. This is now coming up on the 1 hour mark. Again, stolen vehicle pursuit, turning back onto Lincoln Boulevard. Lincoln Boulevard and Ocean Park Boulevard. We are just turning circles around this part of Santa Monica.
You know, Julia, typically the tactics change when you see, obviously, a wide boulevard like Lincoln here, but when you're in those densely populated neighborhoods where these streets are very skinny and very small, those tactics have to change when it comes to law enforcement and how they approach this vehicle.
Absolutely. I mean, they don't have much room to get around the vehicle, try and box the driver in perhaps, or attempt a pit maneuver. So now that we're back on Lincoln Boulevard, there's more space for them to maneuver. But the trouble here is the traffic. There are so many other vehicles, right? You see a pedestrian, two pedestrians over there on the right. Imagine if this spins out when they try a pit maneuver. Sure, they can bring the pursuit to an end, but think about the possible damage, right, to property, to vehicles. Think about other people being hit. I see a bicyclist over there, and this driver disregarding lights, stop signs, going right through that intersection. He did pause for a moment, though. That tells me this driver probably is not impaired. And again, this is not a high-speed pursuit, but there have been a number of dangerous maneuvers here. And as this comes up on the 1 hour mark, you know, this just gets more and more frightening for people in the area. So I mentioned earlier, we were hearing some additional information on the LAPD scanner up here in News Chopper 4 about the person behind the wheel. So this is interesting. This is not something we typically hear in LAPD pursuits. But in addition to this truck being stolen, the driver is wanted for elder abuse. And that is from LAPD, a lead agency here in this pursuit. That was in the city of Santa Monica, approaching Venice now, getting back into LA. But it is LAPD West LA Division, still in pursuit on the ground and up in the air.
And Julia, as we continue to monitor this with you, earlier we even saw that driver going on the wrong side of the street there. And earlier you talked about...
Yeah, he's doing it right now. Right now, you saw him swerve into the left turn lane on the other side of the road, and he's just driving straight on through, disregarding lane markings, traffic rules, and other drivers. That is the scary thing about this now being back on Lincoln Boulevard. And look at that person on the bike. There are so many bikers in this part of town. Look at that. I think people are standing on that roof watching this pursuit. I'm going to widen out and show you just how many black and whites are behind this in addition to the helicopter. I think it's just a matter of time before he turns off of Lincoln Boulevard again, as I believe this driver is looking for a place to ditch the stolen white truck. And when that happens, perhaps LAPD is going to have another opportunity to try a pit maneuver. And if they do it on the same side, they hit that same back wheel, perhaps they can disable the truck. But last time you saw, he just carried on driving at the same speed. Let's see what the driver does now as he hits traffic. Earlier, we saw him just driving up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and earlier, Julia, we even saw this driver stopping for a moment and then on the move again. So it's just been this pattern of this driver stopping and then continuing to move forward. So it's a matter of really waiting and see what the game plan here to try to stop this driver.
Yeah, he keeps on stopping, Camilla, right in the middle of the roadway. And now that I've seen that happen about half a dozen times, I've lost hope whenever he does that he is about to surrender voluntarily. This started at around 11:15 near the 10 of the 405, not far from where we are now, Lincoln and Venice, busy part of town. But he keeps on stopping and then going again. So, you know, we were at a point earlier where LAPD officers actually got out of their vehicles. It looked like they had this driver at gunpoint, but the driver never actually exited the truck. I haven't even seen so much as an arm come out of his window. So he's been stopping and going, and at no point has he actually made moves to get out. Oh, and as I say that, he is now exiting the truck finally. I don't know what that was, but he just
now looks like he's going back in
and then turned quickly, ran back into his truck, He's now on the go again. Again, the initial want was a stolen vehicle. We're hearing this driver is also wanted by LAPD for elder abuse. That is now the most contact I think he's had with LAPD, the lead pursuing agency here.
You know, Julia, the most contact and the most bizarre actions I think I've seen in a chase by a driver. We typically see the game, as we mentioned, of cat and mouse. You stop the vehicle, you wait for officers to get out of their vehicles, and you take off. But to actually get out of the car, run towards officers, and then get back in, now he's out yet again.
He's doing it again. This is really bizarre. He's got his hands up this time. He's walking right at the officers. Okay, here comes the takedown. They've got this guy down on the ground. I think this pursuit is finally over. I don't know what that was where he got out. It looks like he was going to give it up. He didn't have his hands up earlier, though. He was just walking toward LAPD. And then he turned, ran back into the truck, and kept on going before stopping and voluntarily getting out again. It wasn't like they had him at gunpoint. So he did this on his own. But as you see more officers walking up, they had this man down on the ground. They are cuffing him right now. We're coming around in News Chopper 4 so we can get a better shot where this is not blocked by those trees. But this is going to be on Venice Boulevard just off of Lincoln. More than 45 minutes after this pursuit started, with LAPD in pursuit of this driver wanted for stealing that white truck and wanted for elder abuse. This has now finally come to an end in Venice. Venice Boulevard off of Lincoln Boulevard.
You know, and we typically see, you know, the protocols play out when, you know, a truck or a vehicle stops. We see the officers bark orders out and, of course, order that driver to typically throw the keys out, walk backwards towards them. But we saw none of that here today.
Yeah, just to continue to abruptly stop numerous times. And now police was able to complete this this takedown. But luckily, it was a very slow speed pursuit. I mean, this was in a very busy area there in Santa Monica.
Julia Dang live for us in News Chopper 4, and our coverage here continues at the noon hour of the stolen truck pursuit here. The driver now out of the vehicle in police custody, but there's more to do with this truck. I'm sure they're going to scan the inside the cab of that truck to make sure everything is set and ready to go before they call this quits, huh?
Yeah, they're going to do that now. You saw a couple officers walking up to the truck. They're going to have all the doors open. They're going to check the cab of that truck, make sure this guy did not have any weapons on him. We didn't hear that on the LAPD scanners, but that is always protocol when these pursuits end. And we're just glad this ended without anybody getting hurt, without any other vehicles getting involved, without this truck hitting anyone. There were, I think, a couple close calls, but fortunately not a high-speed pursuit anytime that we were over this, but started again near the 10 and the 405. It was briefly on the 10 freeway, mostly turning circles in Santa Monica before entering Venice, and this has finally come to an end. But that, I have to say, you guys, that was a pretty bizarre and I can't recall the last time we had a suspect who, after leading police on a chase for this long, voluntarily decided to give it up and then did so in that manner, right? Walking up toward LAPD officers, turning, running back into the vehicle, taking off again, and then deciding to give it up. But they've got this guy in the back of a squad car now. And, Michael, as you said, they're going to check that truck, and we should have more information about what they find, if anything.
You know, we continue to talk about how this wasn't a high-speed chase, but it had its own level of drama and chaos throughout. As we continue to monitor what is going on here, of course, that driver now in police custody. We, of course, are going to have more on this coming up for you on the NBC 4 News at 3. But we're going to return you now to regular programming. Thanks for watching, everybody.